I met him right down here. Amy Cruson lived, her son is special, and she lived right down here off of Wilderness. This road right here. It's the first time I ever saw Nightmare on Elm Street. The redheaded boy lived in this area right here. We met to fight right past Woodlawn. He lived off of Woodlawn right here. We met to fight right here. Right down that road. My sister and I lived down this road on Randall Mill. The bus would drop us off probably right here on the corner. It was all dirt road right here, and pavement road started right here in the early 80s, going into the mid 80s, probably 85 or so. Now, our house used to be a house that's been demolished. My dad had it demolished. It was also an office he worked in. Right here, a beekeeper lived right over here, and the rumor was he killed himself when his wife left him. That was his house. Down the road from that was our first house, which has been demolished. The second house, that's where we had Tony the Pony, right through here. Right through here. You're withdrawing from alcohol.
No, that's not it.
That's the house my dad built. The house across the street was his business, known as Eutectic Metals and Lone Star Casting. It was right here. This is where his business was. Our house was right there. It's been demolished. There is the rubble right there. That's the rubble of the house and the business. You can see it right here. See the rubble? That was Lone Star Casting.
Yes, I see the rubble.
You need to stop. I'm trying to make a living. This right here is also where the rubble was for the factory. My cousin Robert Cam, his father Robert Cam worked here and threw gold bars across that, I guess that's a fence for the factory, with $250,000 worth of gold bars to get Robert out of Texas. And he lives in Seattle. He has a drug charge. His name's Robert Cam. Josh Nyes, his father, also worked for my father here at Lone Star Casting. He was robbed several times, and the place eventually burned down. My dad owned a rent house right back there. They would throw gold bars over that fence. I don't know if David did. I don't think he did. David Nyes probably didn't. Robert Cam did. Robert Cam did throw the bar. That's our house. That was our house. My father lived there. He sold the house for about $1 million a few years back when I was married to Angel. That's the entire property. It's right by Maranatha Road off of Randall Mill. 1520 Randall Mill, that was my address, 1520. They put those gates in after my dad left. That's Maranatha. Ryan Cox lived right there with Dane Cox and his brother Brett Cox. Christy Fogarty murdered her dad, but she was let off scot-free for self-defense. So she self-defensively murdered her father with a steak knife. Right there is a pond where Ryan Cox, there was an island right in the center. You can see the island right there where the street is right there. I mean, where the tree is. They kicked me off that, and that's where I fell inside, and the bottom of my foot hit a stake, like a spike stake, which was in the pond, and I had to go in for stitches. There's like 10 stitches. That is where that happened, in that pond. I had a friend that had blonde hair that had a BMX bike that lived down this area right over here, which was basically a dirt road that went to I don't know, I guess it was a trailer park. All of this was gone. None of this was here. This road was here, but these houses have all been added. Mostly this was all filled. There was a few houses sporadically, but not as many now. Now we're headed to another area, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. I know. You're withdrawing from alcohol.
No, that's not it. I gotta go.
This is Randall Mill Road.
I gotta go poop.
Okay, we're going.
Please, so.
Okay, just calm down.
Okay. Sorry, I'm ruining your shot.
Cut. We're still in South Lake now, and we're gonna be spinning around, going back towards the highway. And Harkins Theater is probably the next little area that we'll stop at. This is the back side of pretty much West Lake. It's known as West Lake, on the other side of South Lake. And there's mansions all along here. All this was started because of a company called IBM, International Business Machines. IBM is an international company that makes computers. They came in here in the 80s. They started building all these houses in the 90s because they made millions of dollars off the computer industry, especially off IBM. That's how this place became so rich. My father, being in jewelry and refining gold, silver, and diamonds, made his million. He made his $1 million doing that. He made it in this area. Okay, a lot of money for the 80s. To have $1 million in the 1980s when Ronald Reagan was in office was a big, big, big deal. Not a lot of people had $1 million. He did through jewelry. Did it for a refinery. He got fined by the EPA in the mid-90s before the factory burned down. And there was also a robbery that happened. My father and I witnessed it. The people that were robbing him had flares, and it was the first time I was ever handed a gun, and my dad said, keep this on you. If they try to get you, shoot them. And so we had gone up to the factory in his truck, and flares went off, and all of a sudden there was no one around. So they had shut off warning flares because they were robbing his place. We saw one of the flares go off, and that was a warning that someone was coming up, and that was us trying to protect my dad's fortune. There are people that rob from him. People steal from other people. It happens. Robert Cam had thrown gold bars over the fence. My sister is trying to investigate all that because that's money that probably I need for the things that I do. If my father made that money, which he did because that was his gold, he refined it from trash. He would take the stuff from x-rays, and they would have basically a permit to go through trash. They'd take the x-rays and they melt it down into silver, sometimes even gold. Computers have gold in them. What you're holding in your hand has gold in it. It's a computer product. A lot of it has a little tiny bits of gold in it. And it's malleable. Gold is actually malleable. Especially early computer products. He'd also, from trash, he would get like gold from the computer products, melt it down, and then he would sell the gold bars. That's not the only way he got gold. He also could refine it from soil. He could refine it from soil. I'm trying to impress the English majors, let them know we're trying to get the English right. Refining, there's different ways to say the word refine. I'm saying refine, as in refine gold, silver. What he had was called a refinery. He had refined the gold, the silver, and diamonds and things like that. That means they would melt them down, or they would cut them so that they could use them for jewelry and resell to the public. He had 3 different jewelry stores, I think, and he worked with JCPenney's until JCPenney's pretty much kind of put him out of business because they were threatened by the fact that he was having his own jewelry stores. Or we would have an empire right now. We would not be going through all this mess. And I'd probably be doing a jewelry show on YouTube rather than a show about Hollywood. All right. So we're headed off. Wanted to get that out. Thanks so much. Linda is current. Mama's in the porch. Well, Daddy's in the porch.
Sorry.
All right, there's some old people right here. They're lost. It's a silver alert for the local police department. Right here on 7-Eleven. We don't know who they are, but they're just kind of lost.
Well,
let me get the license plate.
No, they're about 85 years old.
Well, hang on for a
I
second.
don't want to smoke in the car.
I don't really know how these things work out, but
I don't know.
they're lost in maybe they're just lost in direction.
Yeah, she had a piece of paper.
Piece of paper? Okay, hang
Said
on.
Northwest Freeway.
Well, hang on. It's like a silver alert or something. I don't know. Let me get the license plate on it. Hang on. Let me ask them real quick.
One moment.
Yeah. Hi.
One moment. Just don't want to smoke.
Okay, hang on. Just give me a second. They may be okay. Where are y'all trying to get to?
They can't hear.
Where are you trying to get to? You have an address? What do you have a final address that you're trying to get to?
Yeah. You can't hear over the traffic.
Do you have like a final address that you're trying to get to?
Help them out.
North Parkway Garage? It's on Chapel Boulevard. Is it an address? Okay, but do you have an address?
Yes, it's on the bottom.
Do you have a GPS system? You can't work it? Okay, I'm gonna try to help them get it working. I'm gonna try to get it working for you, okay? All right, so it's on a silver alert. They can't get their GPS working right. They're an old people from, where did they say? You couldn't hear it. They're from Bowie, Texas. They're behind us. We're leading them into some clinic because we're headed in kind of a similar kind of field. I don't want to give all our information, but they're lost at a 7-Eleven, so that could have turned into a silver alert. They know where they're going. He said they couldn't hear very well because they wanted directions. So I don't think that would have worked with traffic and everything. This is Prospect. Yeah, I know. I'm going.
So they have time.
Right across Federal is where we're going. All right. So there they are. Okay, and I hope they're following. Okay, that's Federal right there. Federal Way. Yeah, they kind of remind me of my stepdad's grandparents. That's why I helped them out. I was going to get license plates and set them on a silver alert. These silver alerts are crazy. They're old, trying to get to a clinic. All they got to do is ask. People turn them into a silver. I wrote a story called Silver Alert Kitty. I want Fred Armisen to play it if it was written for him. It was written for Fred Armisen. It's an old character. Get him a little makeup. It's about a guy and his cat that gets lost out in between Florida and Baltimore. But he goes on filming locations. He tries to record these filming locations of these different movies. I guess this is a clinic. I don't know. This is where you pick up food. This is like a market.
I don't know. You didn't give me the address.
No, I told them I think they got the wrong address. I don't think they can find it because they have the wrong address. They have it on paper address. I was doing that back in like 2000.
Yeah, I know.
They print it off their computer and they're following a piece of paper. It is hard. It is hard if you got the wrong address.
All right, what's sweet? I think
this could be a private clinic. It could be a private clinic. Okay. It's getting kind of Better Call Saul. I don't know. Market, that's Macy's. I don't know. Maybe it's a private clinic in the middle of South Lake Square. That's what it said on their GPS, but she couldn't get it to launch correctly. Okay, I almost drove off, but that guy looked at me with these sad eyes. I was upset at Linda. Okay, yeah, they've got, this is where it's located. They've got the wrong address. They're in the middle of South Lake. They're gonna have to call the clinic and find out the name of the clinic. We can find that off of Google. I do this for a living. I do delivery for a living, but this might be something else to help old people get to their area if they have a car. There could be a group, kind of like runner app for old people trying to get places. I'm gonna see if we can maybe, no, we couldn't. No, because I could park over there and they could park this way. They got the wrong address. Okay, let me tell them what's going on. No, they seem to be kind of hustling. They were kind of, I don't know what they were doing. I told them, go to Google, get the name of the clinic. The name of the clinic.
Did you see the phone number?
They just drove off. But the name of the clinic.
They might have parked over there. There's one empty spot.
I don't know. Okay. The name of the clinic is what they need to get. And once they get the name of the clinic, then they need to put that name in and hit Google. Because Google will take them right to it if they know the name. I don't know where they went. They just vanished.
They're right there. They're on the blue.
I don't see the blue. Audi. That's an Audi. They're not in an Audi.
Or maybe it's that one.
They're in a junked up vehicle. I think that's a silver alert. They said they're trying to get to some clinic.
But you didn't let me Google.
They didn't have the name of the clinic that they were trying to get to. They just had the address. They said they were old and that they were looking for a clinic. Some name of a clinic.
That one. Got the license plate.
Well, I told them to get the name of the clinic because it led them here to South Lake Square.
I saw like a 114 or 2.
I don't see them anywhere. Well, I'm sure they can find somebody else. It might be in this, and it might be in this square. There might be a clinic in this square. It led them to this square. Because they're gonna have to go around the square and see.
That's kind of like Montgomery.
Is that them right there?
Yeah, that's them.
No, because there's no passenger in that one.
How can you see that?
Well, it got them to South Lake Square, so that's at least in South Lake Square. They'll find somewhere in South Lake Square, so they disappear. Some old couple's lost, looking for a clinic. I led them to South Lake Square, so they should be okay. All right, so honor thy mother and thy father also means if you run across a strange couple, you don't know them, and you don't want to see your own parents, you can still honor your own mother and father by helping another couple in the name of God, because we're all under his kingdom. So you can help that old people, or those old couple, you can help old couples and say, okay, Father, Heavenly Father, I help them. That's like honoring my mother and father. Other old people that are strangers are like your mother and father, and you can honor them by honoring your own mother and father by doing your good deeds. You can honor your mother and father by you don't even have to talk to your mother and father by doing the right thing. That'll still honor your mother and your father. But every once in a while you want to send them a postcard or say thanks mom or thanks dad. They can see that you do good. That's honoring. So you do good to other people, then that's a way of honoring. Now we got to go to the medical clinic and help out Linda, because today is the time. I didn't really want to talk about it, but we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about the whole stitches thing. It makes me nervous. I don't like talking about it, but we'll get to that. But they'll be okay. No, they're in South Lake Square. There's more people there. They can find someone that will know the name of the clinic, because there's several names of different clinics. It could be Texas Health.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it's right over there. But I don't know. They said it was a clinic, though. That's different. That's a hospital.
Well, they're old. They don't know what they're
It's probably a clinic. Well, they didn't say anything about Texas Health. This is Texas Health South Lake. I guess the South Lake area of Texas Methodist Hospital. Now remember, Linda went to Harris, and this is also Harris Methodist, which is another area. It's another, I don't know what you call it, really. It's a branch of Harris.
Joe's.
Yep, Trader Joe's is right next door to it, right there. It's Trader Joe's. I've shopped at that Trader Joe's. It's where I get my protein drinks, which I may go get one in a minute. Texas Health is where we took Linda to get her staples removed after she hurt the back of her head because a strange object landed on the back of her head, didn't it? A long time ago. And we have it in the vlog when I first met her. I took her here to Texas Health, Harris Methodist, and they put the staples in the back of her head. It was like, how many? She doesn't remember how many. 4 staples in the back of her head. And I think you said they took them out too, right?
Yeah, I went back.
Okay. You want to show your thumb at a distance? You don't have to. That's the stitches. I don't want to show it close up. But there's 7 stitches. I think 1 fell out. And we're taking her here. She said 3 fell out. So taking her to Texas Health, Harris Methodist. I'm going to try to get a better shot of it. Yeah, they were up there in age. But the guy looked he looked like he knew what he was kind of doing a little bit. The lady looked very stern. So they were trying to get to that clinic. Yeah. But it was kind of a Mulholland Drive moment.
You're probably trying to take him.
Yeah, they looked pretty serious about getting to that clinic. But he was, they were trying to get there. I don't know if they need to get there or not. Linda, not now. Okay, Texas Health, Harris Methodist is right here. We took Linda here. We did a vlog on it and everything. Yeah, she got hit in the back of the head by her roommate, a flying metal object, and they had to put a few stitches in. It was some kind of accidental drunken rage kind of thing. I don't know what it was. This is it right here. They're a really good hospital. So we're gonna go in there. We went during COVID where they asked you a million questions before you could even get into the front door.
Yeah, it probably should be.
This is probably where they're trying to get to. They probably have a special clinic here. It's right next to South Lake Square. Well, there's a hospital. Well, we probably should have took them here and had them. I don't know.
Ask them.
I don't know. It may have been taking too much time.
Okay.
They're all the way from Germantown.
Yeah, how can you see that well?
Tennessee. I've got 20/20. It just has to simulate. It's Tennessee. Let's see.
No,
Oh, they don't keep those plates for very long, really. I think it's Tennessee. I'm it's part of this show. Yeah, Tennessee. They're all the way from Tennessee. All right, so removal of stitches. We did it with the, I guess, the staples that came out of her head right here. And now it's her, which thumb? Which thumb is it? The right? Right thumb? Yeah, it's the right thumb. She was cleaning knives in the Subway sandwich shop and sliced her thumb. 7 stitches, and now it's time for the removal of those stitches. Not that way, it's a fire exit.
I know, I just saw it.
Okay. There's a sign here that says attention. This door will open, surgery patients, staff, vendors, until further notice if you are here, fire department, blah, 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 blah. This is how they kind of were last time. No, they didn't even let us through last time. No tobacco, no vaping, no alcohol, and no drugs. Hi. It's fine. How are you doing? So Linda cut her thumb. She cut her thumb probably about more than 10 days ago at a sandwich shop. And we went to Texas Harris Methodist downtown where they did put stitches, 7 stitches in.
You gonna go down the hall?
Okay, well, let me finish. We're here to remove those stitches.
Yep. You're gonna go down the hall, right before they
You
go.
read my mind.
Yep, that's why I was like, let me tell them what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so she knew the information right when I walked up. We must be famous. Board of Managers. Physician leader. Right here. Scott Holden is his name. One of the leaders of the physicians. That's a lot of paperwork. Linda's already filled out an accident report, known as an incident report, at Subway. So they call it an incident, but it was an accident report. Water. I know. That's still from COVID right here. There's water. All right. Did you hear what she said down the hall? Yeah. Hello. How are you? So Linda cut her thumb about 10 days ago. Okay. Probably about 11 days ago. At a Subway sandwich shop with 7 stitches. We did have the stitches put in at Texas Harris Methodist downtown Fort Worth. So we're here to have the stitches removed.
I'm gonna have to check on that. We've never done.
Okay, this is a procedure, so we are asking for assistance because we do want the stitches to be taken out correctly. So we are asking.
Okay.
I do have some paperwork right here, ma'am.
No. It's not that. It's just that it's okay. Normally the person, like, we'll have to just charge you a whole other ER.
That's fine.
That's fine. He told me.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right, so if you'll have a seat right here, I need your driver's license.
All right, thank you.
Your insurance.
And what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, do you have like a last name on the badge or anything? For a nurse? Okay.
What do you want him to know?
I just want to make sure I get to talk to the right people. So you're spelled L-E-S-A, and what is the last name?
I'm not gonna.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I just got to make sure that I got the right person. You're an inpatient registered nurse, Texas Harris Methodist, right? I'm making sure that I'm talking to the right person. That you're the nurse that we're supposed to talk to. She let us over here. Okay, so you are a nurse. Okay, thank you.
It's very good to stitch that, so go back to work.